last year, I exposed how IGO Café in Sallynoggin was in receipt of tens of millions of euros of state contracts for asylum services. We since discovered that this cafe was owned and controlled by David Mooney, a very controversial figure with a colourful past with political connections. Q4 last year, we realised that his company is now the highest earner in the entire country for the asylum industry. They earned 12.4 million in the last 3 months alone. So I'm like a dog with a bone with this stuff, and over the last few months I've been patiently submitting freedom of information requests to try and figure out what's actually going on within the centres he operates. So just yesterday, after months of back and forth with the department, I finally received an explosive tranche of documents. So, since November last year to the beginning of March this year, there have been 22 incidents reports in Kilbride Barracks, Crooksling and Ilbana Avenue. And out of these 22 incidents reports, 7 of them were I was refused access to because they were too controversial, because they were about stabbings, fires and things like that. But the ones I did get were pretty illuminating. So let's start off. Now, all of these are on my X account for anyone to read, but here's an incident report about a threat to kill and physical violence. I will kill you, and then punches him 10 times in the face. This is a report about a dispute over TikTok that spiraled into a violent attack. Next up is a report about verbal abuse and death threats made against staff. Residents threatened to kill security, tried to grab a security guard's radio, and then vowed to gather a group of his friends to attack them as they left work tonight. Next up, we have a psychotic episode of aggressive behaviour and safety concerns in the dining hall. At 5:30 in the morning, one man during a psychotic episode smashed plates, hurled bottles, glasses, and began to throw a microwave across the room. Security staff restrained him. Others said they now fear for their lives. One is where a man was caught smoking indoors, and when he was caught, he spat in the security guard's face and walked off, and is not his first offence. Next up is another psychotic episode and death threats. In the midst of a psychotic episode, this man stormed into the security office and stated he would kill someone. This next one is about an attack over loud phone music. Next, we have a chokehold takedown. As 2 residents went for a casual fist bump, one took it the wrong way and it ended up in a massive scrap, and they held each other down in headlocks. Next one is about violent behaviour and intoxication. One resident went on a violent rampage, assaulting another resident, hurling racial abuse at security, threatening staff in the canteen. Gardaí were called. He fled the site the next day. Next is a shocking admission from one resident saying that he was the one who started fires earlier in the month, and he did so he would be relocated. Next, we have narcotics and threatening behaviour. Over dinner time, when one man asked for a second serving of food, he raised his fork to the canteen staff and threatened them, fill the plate or else, using the fork as a weapon. He was then detained. There are many more of these incidences, but I'm just going to skip to the last document we were given, which is a log of all the incidents that I've described. And in it, it says how many times the Gardaí were called. Just look at how many times the guards are going to these places to sort things out. The list continues into a second page, and just look at the amount of fires that were started. We didn't get full details on the fire reports because they were held back. And there was also another one including a knife that was held back. So that was a stabbing event. So look, there's a lot to opine on all of this, like there really is. But for now, I'm pretty much content with just having this information out there. I've sent these reports to all of the mainstream media directly. Irish Times, RTE, Journal, News Talk, you name it. If these reports do not make national headline news, then God help us all, because they are actively suppressing actual information that the entire country is interested in. This has been the culmination of months of work and investigation for me and a few others, so I'd like to thank everyone working in the FOI departments for releasing this information. The system works. If you would like to support me, please follow me on X.